Sound Music Business Tips, episode 15. I'm Anthea Palmer. I recently had a long conversation with one of the musicians that I coach who lost a band member. And losing a band member can feel like a really major blow. And likewise, trying to find band members if you're putting a band together can be pretty trying. So for his sake, and now I'm sharing with you, I wanted to put some tips together to help you find musicians, help you find players. So the first thing that it's important to do before you start advertising for them is to make a list of what you do want and what you don't want. And this will help you create the advert that you're going to put around to find the musicians. And it will also help you weed out or screen out the tire kickers, I'm going to call them. So really important to do that. Now the sort of things that could be on your want list, must have own equipment, must have own transport, must be able to write or co-write original material, must have some experience of playing live, and so on. And be very specific about what you want from a player. So on the other side, what you don't want, well, you don't want, say, under 18 if you're playing at licensed hotels. You don't want a player that's playing in 10 other bands and is going to be difficult to book for your gigs, and so on. Be very specific. And I think that's the very first thing that you should do in this process. Now, speaking of process, I also want you to think about how you're going to manage this process of getting new players in. So for instance, how you want them to apply to you. Do they need to include video of them playing? Do you need to have an artist that has a recording or something you can listen to? If you don't care about that, how should they apply? Just in writing? Are you putting your phone number out there, your email address out there? Make sure it's a way that means you'll get the message and you'll be able to respond efficiently. Don't put advertising out there that goes nowhere and people can't contact you because it's just a waste of your time and theirs. Also with the process, work out how you're going to screen them. Are you just going to telephone screen them? Are you going to set up a chat forum perhaps? How are you going to audition them and where? Are you going to have individual auditions just as applicants come through? Are you going to wait and have one big audition session for any applicant that you're interested in looking at? Where are you going to audition? Do they need to bring their own gear? So work out all of that sort of process-driven stuff first before you start advertising. Now, as far as where to advertise, there are lots of places, and the musician that I coach, that I had the conversation with, said that he finds a lot of the online forums are full of tire kickers and he doesn't get much quality from them. But I would start there. So do a Google search and do forums for musicians and your city, and a list will come up. Look at all those forums. They probably have a place where you can put a wanted advert, and they probably also have a place where musicians that are looking for gigs have got their own listings. So I still recommend giving the forums a go. Now, if you're an established band or an established artist and you already have a website, I would recommend creating a new page or post on that website just for the purpose of recruiting this member or members. I'll tell you why, because all of your other advertising that you do for this can point to that. And as well as trying to find the right musician, you might find that it actually helps you to market the band. Because let's say, for instance, you are posting on those forums, you can put the relevant link to that page of your website on the forums. People will click there, end up on your website, who knows, they'll probably have a listen, they might join your mailing list, they might check out when you're playing next and go along. So it's well worth doing that, having the page on your blog or website if you do already have one. I would even be tempted, depending on how serious you are to get good players, to create a blog or a website for this purpose if you don't already have one. Facebook, use Facebook. There's a couple of ways, 3 ways I would recommend using Facebook. Firstly, of course, if you have a page for your music, you can post to your page, and I would post frequently, even daily, and mix up the content each time. Maybe add a bit of humour, add photos of the band, but yeah, post regularly. And remember that you can optimise, you can pay to optimise those posts and give them a better chance of being seen in the news feeds. The other thing you can do is Facebook advertising. And if you have an ad on the side of Facebook, have that link straight to that blog page or website page. That would be fantastic. Make the advert very specific so that you're not wasting the pay-per-click money. So if it's a guitarist, be very specific, you know, indie rock band seeks motivated guitarist, a title like that, so that you're really only going to get the right people click on the advert. When you put the advert in, you're going to choose your area, or you might choose within 25 kilometres or whatever the options are there, to make sure that you're really optimising the ad so that it's only people nearby and it's only the relevant sort of musicians that are going to click on the ad. Send it to your website or blog post. Awesome, awesome idea. The other thing to do with Facebook is to send a personal message out to all your musician friends on Facebook and let them know what's going on. So, hey Anthea, I just thought I'd let you know that we've lost a bass player, wouldn't you know it? We're desperate to find a new one. Here's what we're looking for. If you know of anyone, or if you know of any bands that have split up recently, there's another good tip. Please let me know, or feel free to give them my details. So touch base personally with all the musicians and industry people that you know through Facebook. Now, if you use Twitter, good tips for Twitter. Of course, you can just tweet saying that you're looking for somebody. Of course, you can put a link back to that web page or that page on your blog that you've created for this purpose. But also go to Twitter search, so twitter.com/search, and put in relevant things like guitarist wanting band Melbourne. And see what comes up in the search results, because Twitter can be very powerful if you're looking for something specific. Then when the results come up, you can have a look at those tweets. You can reply saying, hey, I just saw your tweet and we're looking for a guitarist in your area. So that's another good way to find musicians. Okay, here's another great tip. This is a really good one. Look for tertiary music colleges. So go to Google, put in music college or music school and your city, and a whole list will come up. Ring those people or email those people, contact them and say, do you have an online bulletin board or a physical bulletin board on campus? And if so, put your ad there. It's a great place to find really driven musicians because they're spending their time studying music. So they're usually fairly driven and professional and wanting to get ahead. The good old music instrument shop. Go to all the music instrument shops in your area. Most of them will have physical boards that you can pin an advert to. And also make sure that you have a chat to the staff there, because from my experience, the staff at those instrument shops know a lot of the regulars that come in. They also hear a lot of the gossip about who's playing with who and which bands have split up. So if you also actually network with them, let them know who you are and what you're looking for, they might keep an ear out for you, or they might point people towards your ad. The other thing to do is to network. So get out to gigs of bands that are of similar genre, and make sure you take some flyers or postcards with you. So actually make up a little batch of materials for this. So give them to the other members of your band too, so that when you're all out and about and you meet somebody and you say, oh, hey, I don't suppose you know a bass player. Oh, I might know somebody. You've got something you can just hand them. They'll put it in their pocket, and when they get home, they won't forget. They won't forget to point that person in your direction. So there's a whole stack of stuff that you can do to find players. I hope that's been helpful. So this is Sound Music Business. I'm Anthea Palmer. Onward and upward.